A very good evening and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. In the afternoon, we talked about military tanks which have been seen in the streets of Harare. And there are different versions we have seen from various people and different people. And we need to take a look onto what is really happening at this point in time so as to understand what is really transpiring. So, this matter is very, very difficult to understand because, this does not look like it's a military coup. So what is happening is that other people believe that it's Mnangagwa who deployed the military tanks onto the streets. Comrade Neva Masquera say just commented and said in Infambe in Terere. And if you look at it from his side, it looks like they are on top of the situation. They know what is happening, or their side is on the move, actually. But if you go on to the other side, that is the side of people like Majara Jairos is saying something which is quite different. And Majara Jairos believes what is happening is as a result of Emmerson Mnangagwa moving the tanks onto the streets so as to instill fear in the people, or so as to try to intimidate people. So he said that we were going to know anyway. So Idi Mnangagwa had a meeting at his house in Borodale. It was about bringing out military tanks onto the streets to instill fear in people. Sean, who controls a few prepaid military men, and his father were behind this. Most soldiers are not involved. This is what Majara Jares has said. And this is a very, very complex matter to understand at this point in time. Remember, when we did a live program in the afternoon, we highlighted that the police escort, which was there, it makes us question who is behind this, because normally the police does not need to escort the military when it's a coup. The military will be doing its own things. Go back to 2017. That's what happened. And at this point in time, the man who is in control of the police is believed to be an ally of President Emmerson Mnangagwa, which means it's a very, very difficult situation to see the police escorting it. So Majaro Jaros went further and said soon those military tanks will be turned against them. Spoke to all veterans correspondent to seek Gezat's view on today's development. They were frightened by such a thing, which means the war veterans themselves, they are not even sure. They don't even know what really is actually happening. The war veterans linked to Comrade Geza, they are actually distancing themselves from the moves which are happening right there. But it seems as if there is a lot of confusion which is happening. Each and every person is thinking otherwise. If you look at the time those tanks rode into the streets of Harare, it was in the morning. And up to this evening, we have not heard about them taking key positions or positioning themselves at key areas in terms of trying to secure the city, which means it can't be a coup when they've not taken a strategic position. Imagine you move, you are bringing a coup, and then you take time like that. It means the other side does have time to counter you, to plan against you. If you look at what happened in 2017, they quickly moved to strategic positions and they quickly closed in the gap. So what I have said in the past is that this year, what I perceive and what I see is that citizens are going to be at the center of whatever which is going to happen. Citizens are going to be at the center of whatever which is going to happen. So it also explains something which is very, very important. We have so many factions which are there. And those factions, the other one linked to General, the other one linked to Kumkuru, the other one linked to Vakomana and Avo. So you can actually see that we have around 4 to 5 factions which are there, which means this is going to be the most difficult task to execute as long as people are not working together. People are not talking with one voice, then it's something else, which means at the center of everything is to put the people on the forefront. Then if there is a reaction to use the military to try and use force onto the people, then something else will have to happen. So this is how I see this. This is how I view whatever which is happening right now at this point in time in the nation of Zimbabwe. So I'm going to take much comments right here, which means if you have some comments to share with us, please make sure that you write in the comment section such that we have a conversation and we try to understand what is really happening and what is really going on. So what happened is that I failed to prepare. Maybe I could have brought some people right here. I think it's a network glitch which happened right there. Then I would have wanted to bring some people live here, but I'm not so sure how we can actually do this so that we can have a conversation. So I'm still trying to figure out the best way we can bring some people right here so that maybe we can have a conversation, we can talk and then try to understand what is really happening. So my sister Petronella, thank you very much for coming, and Coletta, thank you very much as well for coming. C4 says Pacha Pisa Vamwacha Tonora. So at this point in time, let me tell you real information which is there according to the people I've spoken to. The tanks which rode into the streets, no one knows where those tanks came from, including the people who are supporting VP Chiwenga, including the people who are supporting Emerson. No one knows where those things came from, which means the information is at the top. Only those at the top, they know and understand what is really happening. Why were those tanks rode into the streets? No one knows. So at this point in time, it's all speculation. People are speculating about the reasons why those tanks have been rode onto or into the streets. So it's very, very interesting to see that for the first time, Zimbabwe has been plunged into a state of confusion. And sometimes it happens when people want to cause confusion, when people want to stop certain narratives from happening, they can do that. And I know Kuti, my supporters or people who are affiliated to different factions, it takes time for you to get much information in terms of what is really happening and what is really transpiring. So that is the reason why you have seen that it was panic in the morning, but as the day progressed, people started to go about whatever which they want to do. And I always say, I do not see a November 2017 repeating itself in Zimbabwe. I am seeing a confrontation. If that is to happen, I'm seeing a direct confrontation, which is going to be likely bloody. So if the rumors which are moving around to say it is the faction of Mnangagwa which rode the tanks, what it could then mean is that they are simply showing their power to say, we are prepared for you, we are ready to deal with you, we are ready to respond. So it's something else. Then it makes us question, how does the military operate? What about the code of conduct? Who deploys what? Who does have the right and the permission to deploy what? Then it doesn't make sense at all. Whatever which has happened today It doesn't make sense at all. And I don't think that Zimbabweans should bank on whatever which happened today. I think as Zimbabweans, we need to be more organized. We need to think through what will be our position if A, B, C, D happens. What are we going to do? How are we going to react as Zimbabweans? Because a time will come where Zimbabweans need to make a decision. And if we have failed as citizens to make decisions right now, and if we have failed to have conversations, then it will be too late. So this is what is happening, and I need your views and your thoughts right here. Zache says, okay, Maswera say, Anze, arikutula kuisa fie muvanu uyo, that is Android. Okay, Mchaya, thank you very much for coming. Manerakanaka. So this is what is happening, Team Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is so tense at this point in time. We have seen tanks being rolled into the streets, around 21 plus. But I do not believe that they have anything to do with Vana Comrade Geza. I don't think that they have anything to do with it. And information which is circulating is they are trying to instill fear. Kuti Mukapindam Road, we are ready for you. And no one knows. We will be seeing as time goes on. Remember, there are certain measures which have been put in place to make sure that Comrade Geza does not communicate. And we will do more programs so that we talk much about those issues. We have overstayed right here. We don't want to surpass 11 minutes. We have overstayed, which means we want to try to keep these videos short. So we will come and we'll talk about Comrade Geza, how they are trying to force Comrade Geza to come to court so that they can arrest him. And we will talk much about it in detail. Once we put everything together, we will bring that video. So it is what it is, Team Zimbabwe. I love you all, and thank you very much for the support you have been offering on us on this platform. And let us continue to watch and pray.